You want a fucking kicking bollocks, dear? You can have a kicking bollocks or a bullet in head, mate. Your fucking choice.
Hello and welcome to this first in a series of Arma 2 videos for the PC. I will be doing various videos showing some of the scenarios, the multiplayer, the in-depth editor, and a few other little snippets along the way, and I'm sure we'll have some fun as we go. Now Arma 2's been out for a while now. As you can see, I've got Arma 2, I've got Arma 2 Arrowhead and the British Armed Forces expansion packs. So let's just go in and have a look at some of the graphic settings before we start. Most of them are on high. Antistropic and anti-aliasing on low really does eat into your frame rate. As the game's been out for a while now, it probably doesn't take full advantage of the newest technology. I'm running SLI GTX 580. I've got a good system running on the i5 as well. Post-processing here really does eat in again to your frame rate. Basically it puts almost like a depth of field effect on, like a glow around things when it's really bright sunshine. Looks good, yeah, looks good, but it really is a killer for your frame rate. I've had to drop these down slightly due to the fact that we're running with fraps. So usually I can get around 50-60 frames a second on the heavy stuff, but today we're going to drop things down a little bit so we can get better performance. So let's go in and have a look at one of the campaign missions. As you can see, these are from the various packs. The one that's highlighted at the minute is actually the British Armed Forces one. Obviously, that's for me. But today, actually, let me just show you these. All these are different scenarios. These are just the single player missions, and these are not actually the full campaign missions either. So there is a hell of a lot of content in here. And Steam are actually doing the game at the minute for £24, I think, which includes all the expansion packs. So it really is a lot for you to do. So let's just have a look at a typical mission here with my big heavy boots on. Obviously we can play the game in first person and third person. Obviously here on the carrier, and our mission, should you choose to accept it, is to storm the beach, clear out the village and move up to the airstrip. There's some extremely nice modelling in this game. Everything is authentic. That even goes down to bullet ballistics, rate of fire, gravity, the whole lot. Now the AI is it looks a little bit clunky when it's flying, but when it's actually a real human player, it's obviously a lot smoother. It takes a little while to get used to. So here we are, actually inside the aircraft. There's a little cutscene here, I'll leave you to listen to this.
I mean, no need to be. I've heard we got all kinds of support. I'm so excited. This is going to be better than the last day Aussies at Shoalwater. Those were some explosions. I'm not leaving without some scalps, I tell you. But I guess we'll not get any resistance. If yes...
Now the game has some absolutely dreadful acting in the game. Yeah, shut the fuck up! Some dreadful acting in the game. But then again, it's not... Well, I suppose it is a shame that they couldn't have made it a bit more authentic. I'm sure Arma 3, when it comes out, will improve on it. What this game does have in spades is immersion. It really does, especially when you're out fighting. It's a completely different game to Battlefield 3. If you're coming into this thinking, oh yeah, there's helicopters, vehicles, and all the other little bits, and you're going to come in and run around, forget it. Forget it. You couldn't... I mean, if COD was A, this is Z on the alphabet, and that's probably a good way to do it. This is a realistic tactical military shooter. A lot of ex-army vets use this, and they actually use real tactics, especially in the co-op missions when they split into fire teams. Massive amount of custom content and mods for this. I'm actually running some custom sound mods here, and I may list them at the end. Just listen to the helicopter, sounds amazing. So as our AI pilot brings us in onto this shore, as you can see the graphics look really quite dated, but what you have to remember here is that one map on here is basically, I think one of them's 5,000 kilometers, so it could take you 3-4 hours to walk from one side of the island to the other, so it is a massive game obviously your PC has to give way to something at some point. There we go. So that's obviously flying back now to the carrier. One of the nice things that I wish Battlefield 3 had is that you can actually press the Alt button to actually look around. So you can keep your weapon facing forward, or while you're running you can look around in different directions while you keep in that same direction. Now, like a fool there, I was actually waiting for these guys to give me commands. It seems I'm in control of the squad myself. Always nice to be able to play it in third person as well. Helps to look around. We have all the basic stances which we'll go through and show you. You know, battle stances. We have crouch, prone, roll. You know, different speeds as well. Obviously, we can look through the scopes as well. So our mission here, I'm up with the squad leader, is to clear the village and move forward.
Engage that.
Enemy,
Man,
2 out.
front, far.
1. Target that machine gunner.
And obviously, your squad will highlight you and tell you where. This is actually on noob version. So obviously the enemy are highlighted. If you were to put this on veteran and further up, it becomes a lot more realistic. Also takes you a lot longer to complete the levels as well. Obviously I'm shooting it down there just to try and suppress. I'm obviously shooting the ground in front of me. All a learning curve. It's been a long time since I've actually played Arma, so I'm actually just getting back into it. Got a couple of friends who I'm trying to talk to in. Mr. Wilkes into doing some co-op with me. Plenty of content. So this is part of one of the reasons, is to try and get more people to actually play it. There's actually a free Arma 2 version out at the minute, I believe. You don't get as many weapons, scenarios, and you get low-res textures, but it'll give you a chance to actually try the game out for yourself. So obviously we're just going to creep up slowly here.
11 o'clock. Enemy machine gunner. 4. Target that.
Very slow moving tactical game. You can't just go running around. It's not too bad on this level because I've actually, as I say, I've got this on noob version, so it can be quite lenient. But as you shall see, things don't quite go to plan. Vegetarian shooting a chicken should be disgusted. Mind you should see what I do to a goat later. Anyway, moving on. As you can see, we're moving on up here. Like, for example, there you go. There's a guy laying down in the bushes there. Again, if this was on any harder, I would have been dead coming around that corner, but because we're on noob version. So we're starting to push up now. Obviously, there's not many enemies. One thing I will say about this game is that if I was to play this same little section again 10 times, it would be different. The AI is not scripted. Obviously, there are certain events that are scripted, but where the AI go, how aggressive they are, the way they move, it's all unscripted. And as you shall see, I shall show you in a minute when I actually pop my clogs. We'll do the same little scenario. I'll just show you a few little clips so it doesn't go on too long. And you'll see it's completely different to the last time we played it, which is interesting. So it's if you play in a squad, co-op, and you're doing some of these missions, it's never going to be the same again. Never run out into open cover. Never. So I know there's somebody out there.
Changing mags!
As I said, there's real bullet ballistics. This weapon is effective up to 400-500 meters. It can go up to 800. Some of the sniper rifles can actually shoot over 2 miles. Accuracy, you have to take into account wind and ballistics, bullet drop and things like that. Okay, so I'm moving up slowly now.
Enemy.
APC, right far.
So now we have an APC, an armoured personnel carrier, moving up on us from the 3 o'clock position, which means we're in big trouble. So it looks like my squad leader's actually called in for CAS, which is close air support. So that could either be a mini-bird with hydras, or it could be an Apache. It's not a tank, so it probably won't be an AC-10. But obviously, with this being a realistic game, we have to now wait for the whatever they are sending for CAS to actually come from the carrier. It's not instant. Again, this all builds on that realism factor. Okay, so I'm going to move up a little bit. It's probably not the wisest of things to be doing. Oof, that was close. I think if I had some sort of rocket at me there, or was it a tracer around? So I'm just trying to suppress here while we wait for Cass to come in. Bullet rounds flying all over me. Oh, and I'm down. Now this is going to show you another interesting mechanic within the game. I can be laying here now until I actually bleed out. I can keep calling for the corpseman, but obviously your friendly troops will only come if the area is clear. And unfortunately for me, it wasn't. So let's do this little bit again. Okay, so I think a wiser approach here. I've actually come back from a safe point. There's somebody over there. Our friend has got him. Lots of kickback on the sword, obviously. Best to be in prone position. I think a better idea on this one is to actually hit his weight before we move up for Cass to come in. In the interest of time, I shall actually whiz this on a little bit. So, I'm actually laying down here, and you can actually hear the APC on the other side of this hill. And part of my fire team has actually been shot and injured here. And this gives me a chance to show you an interesting mechanic. There's the APC. As long as I stay low, he can't actually aim down at me. And I can hear Cass over to the south coming in. Taking care of the APC.
Wait, in front of us.
He's actually injured, but he's managed to take somebody out. So what I can do is, as we're actually in the danger area here, I can actually drag this guy over to safety. So I'm actually going to drag him away from here. Which is a nice mechanic, I think. And this works in multiplayer and co-op as well. So I'm going to drag him over here. Hear Cass flying around still in the background. Obviously this is taking too slow to get him down to the bottom, so I'm actually going to carry him instead. Which should make the job easier. Obviously there's a full fatigue system as well. Running around too much affects your aim. If you carry too much, you can't run as far or as fast. And if you do carry on running, you will physically start to get dizzy and pass out. It's a nice little mechanic, nice bit of immersion here. So I'm going to carry him a little bit further down, and then I'm going to administer first aid. So that's it, just throw that fool on the floor, and there we go. I'm now going to administer first aid.
The healing of the hands. Looks like I'm actually taking my time here.
And there we go. I'm actually healing him now. And this, again, is not a 5-second thing. Depending on how bad the actual injury is, whether it's legs, arms, torso, whatever, it will actually take the time to heal him as well, which is I think it's a nice touch. And obviously we can view this in first person as well. Well, I think I'm healing him. I hope I'm shanking him. He seems to be enjoying this a lot. What sort of game is this? Why couldn't it be a hot bird I injured?
You've got a bullet in your minge, love.
Yeah, well, he's enjoying that too much. I think we'll cut that there. Cut! Might be children watching. Cut!
Hey, baby. I like blondes.
Anyway, this has just been a little, tiny little look at Arma 2 on one of the campaign missions. I shall be uploading a lot more videos and we'll go into depth into the other stuff. Thanks for watching and look out for some more. While I'm on the point about random stuff, you can actually see Cass in the background get shot down here. And that all goes back to the thing about things being unscripted. You actually see the pilots eject as well, which is a nice touch. Anyway, thanks for watching. More videos coming soon.